Hello, everybody. Am I live or the video is starting? Or wait, what's going on here? All right, all right. I think we're live. I think we are live. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Going? I just waiting to see if anybody joins. Oh, my hair. I didn't put any product in my hair, and it's getting owly. Or does that make sense? Frizzy, wild, crazy. Um, I am just checking some stuff here to see. Um, I'm just checking some stuff to making sure we're on. Can everybody see me, hear me, all that good stuff? Me. Hello, Patrick. I'm gonna try my best to like keep up with you guys' comments and whatnot. Um, Hopefully my feed is okay. It says action needed. Current frame rate is too low. Please set the frame rate to 15 to 60 feet something per second. I don't know how to do frame rate. You know you're getting old when. You know. I don't know. I'm just listening to my own video. Okay, so hopefully it's okay. I really hope so. I don't know what I'm doing. I am so sorry. Uh, oh my gosh. It sounds okay to me. It does look like it's breaking up, but I'm not sure why. Okay. If it doesn't go as if it didn't go as well as I want to, we're gonna. If I start breaking up, y'all, just let me know, and then I'll maybe switch to my phone. I just hate the fact that I have to do that. I don't know why my internet is good. Current frame rate is too low. Learn more. Okay. Are you still there? Hopefully, I'm still there. Oh my gosh. I am not sure why or what. If you guys have any, oh, if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Okay. Anyway, so here we go. I don't know what I did or what I'm doing really. Hello, everybody. I missed you guys. Every one of y'all. I missed you. I hope everything's going good. I hope you guys are doing awesome. Yeah, today, the Power Hour. I want to thank Native Wellness Institute for allowing me to be here and to be a part of you all and taking a little time out of your guys' lives to listen to me and interact with me. And we'll go from there. Rosanna said everything's good. Jen Jack said, oh, okay, all right, AC, I'll just ignore it. Okay, good. All right. All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep going. Today is we're gonna talk about seeing past the blinds, y'all. I mean, figurative speech, seeing past the blinds. It's really what it comes down to is taking a look within self. Um, we often pull the blinds down, or we often hide behind the blinds because we are uncertain. We don't know. We're ignorant. We don't have the understanding until, and even then, until something slaps us in the face and then makes us aware of what we can do to better ourselves. And that really takes some introspect to really like look within self, to really say, you know what, uh there's something going on and I need to look within, if that makes sense. Okay, so here we go. You could flip the script, you could turn it inside out, how you want to do this. But you know us natives, a lot of people, when they hear sirens, when they hear people talking outside the window, when they hear music, when they hear dogs barking, whatever it may be, we as a natives are sometimes known as nosy. We're nosy, and our everything could be blacked out. Our blankets on the curtains, our blankets on the windows could be all the way down. But because we hear something outside, we look and we get nosy. We kind of like, what's going on? We open the blinds and we look to see what's going on because there's some kind of ruckus. There's something that intrigued our curiosity. If we never really ever looked beyond the blinds, we really wouldn't know what's going on. We really wouldn't start asking questions. Sometimes we would, let's say a police car pulled up across the street at our neighbors. We hear some commotion. There's some fighting going on. There's something going on. And we open the blinds and we stare and we look and what's going on? What's going on over there? Oh my gosh. There's some chaos going on over there. Okay. Then we close our blinds. Okay? And then it's done. We don't delve into any further unless you're really nosy. Then you're on the phone, then you're on Facebook, maybe you're recording. I don't know. You do what you have to do to get involved for a certain amount of time. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about when I say seeing past the blinds within self. Sometimes there's an alarm that goes off. Sometimes there's some chaos that goes on in our life, and some of us are just too afraid to face that situation, to face what's going on, and we kind of avoid it. We don't even look at the blinds. We just kind of like, I don't even want to deal with it. I don't even want to look outside. I don't even want to worry about what's going on out there. I'm fine. I'm okay in this darkness, in my house. I'm comfortable. I'm okay with just being okay. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't, just taking. Yeah, I'm in my safe. I'm in my comfort zone. I don't want to go out anywhere. I hear it. I know there's something there that needs to be addressed, but I'm not going to look outside the blinds, even though it's killing you to look outside them blinds, to go past them blinds, to see past the blinds. Sometimes a lot of us will avoid it so that we feel safer. And in fact, we live in this trauma-based life. And something will rock the boat, something major in your life will happen to give you a wake-up call, to make you look outside the blinds and say, man, what's going on? So to start kind of creating that curiosity. What can I do to help myself? What can I do to better myself? And that's what today's talk is really going to be. And I hope you guys kind of feed back with me today, because I really kind of want to know what you guys do to see past the blinds, because I don't want this just to be about me, because, again, I don't claim to know anything or be anybody. I'm not perfect. Everything I know or try to know or have learned I tell it in every Native Wellness or any speaking event that I do, everything that I know has been passed on for me from someone who knew or who didn't know, and I learned from that. Sometimes you call me a slow learner, sometimes, but you know what? That's the thing. I myself went through trauma. I myself went through some hard times in my life and stuffed it. Like I was that person that did not look outside the blinds and lived a facade life, thinking I'm fine, I'm okay, this is good, this is the way it's supposed to be. And deep down inside, knowing that I wasn't really as happy as I could be, and I was so afraid to look outside the blinds. I was so afraid to look and see what could be done and how enjoyable life could really be if I addressed what was catching my attention to be addressed. Like the things that needed to be addressed was catching my attention, but I kept saying, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Um, and realizing, you know what? And me and my wife would talk about, how important it is for men's mental health. There's this stigma about how, and it's just not men, but it could be anybody. But referring to me, how I remember one time she asked me if I was interested in going to get counseling. And me being a past counselor, I was like, oh, I'm good, I'm fine. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I got all the tools and resources that I need to get through what I need to get through. But yet I was having these actions or behaviors that weren't aligning with who I wanted to be or where I wanted to go. And something major happened where it made me and forced me, like something just ripped off the blinds, and I had no choice. After I was doing this, like, okay, the blinds are off, and I don't want to. Oh man, it's bright in here. I'm not gonna take off. Nope. It wasn't until I really removed the blinds and looked past the blinds, and it was bright. It was like, holy cow, what's going on? Things started getting clear. I started realizing, holy cow, Kasey, you got some stuff still to work on. Even when you're 40 years old, you still got some things to work on and to address. And I think that's all part of the healing process. No one has a timeline of how fast you're supposed to heal, what you're supposed to do to heal, what things are going to be placed in front of you to heal, and it comes in all shapes and forms. It could be that's what I was talking about, the sirens, or it could be the barking dog, or it could be someone just talking really loud. It could be someone screaming. It could be a rainstorm. It could be thunder. When you look out and you're like, holy cow. Whatever it was that caught your attention is saying, look outside. There's something that needs to be addressed. Needs to be something that needs to be looked at. And so something came into my life and really smacked me in my face and realized, you know what? I looked at the blinds. There it is. And that was enough to say, I need to get out there now. I need to open the windows and quit avoiding this thing that I've been avoiding a lot of my life. And it's time to address it. So it went back into me and the wife talking about counseling, and like, yo, I need counseling. In addition to all the other tools and resources that I need, but I needed to tell somebody with professionally trained, and I did EMDR counseling, and I'm still actually doing it, periodically, just to kind of keep ciphering and reconnecting and rewiring the brain, and dealing with these traumatic events that I went through as a kid. My traumatic events would always go back to one certain age in my life, and in that certain age, like sometimes, okay, my EMDR counselor would say, so where do you feel like that emotion resides? How old do you feel like that emotion is? Whether it be fear, resentment, anger, hurt, blame, whatever it may be. How old do you feel like that is? And it would always resort into like a lot of the emotions, a lot of these triggering effects would always come in between like 5 and 12, 13 would be around the same, like anywhere in between there. A lot of them, majority would be between 5 and 8. And I remember, and she's asking these questions, and I'm just like, whoa, I've never I never looked outside. I never really realized how that or what that is. And I'd tell her, good question. And that would allow me to look outside the blinds that I have put in front of me to cope with whatever happened to me. There's this great quote, and I'll read it to you really quick. It's I just actually seen it and it popped in my head. I really, really love it, and I think it will really help some of you guys out there as well. Uh, so this is really cool. This is really, and it says, our brains are wired for connection. Our brains are wired for connection with each other, with whatever. But trauma rewires them for protection. That's why healthy relationships are difficult for wounded people. Let me read that again. Our brains are wired for connection, but trauma rewires them for protection. That's why healthy relationships are difficult for wounded people. And I wouldn't say, okay, here's a vulnerable openness that I'm sharing with you all, because maybe some of you guys can relate. As an only child, I grew up by myself with my mom, and there's a lot of history of not connecting, with not really investing or trusting self or others. Fear, there's a lot of fear there, and I had a hard time allowing people fully in. I would always keep my distance. I would be that person in the back corner with my back against the wall, observing rather than mingling, because I didn't want to get too close to somebody in case, um, I don't know really. I mean, me and my counselor really talked about that. In case of what? I don't know. In case of what? I'm a good guy. I wouldn't. I mean, in case I lose them, in case I do something wrong. In case I do, and those are the blinds. All those are the blinds I need to look through, like, like what's going on, like here, oh, there's that one, and that's kind of the thing is I didn't really allow myself to be close to so many people. And when we talk about relationships, I'm not just talking about marriage. I'm just not talking about girlfriends, boyfriends. I'm not just talking about any relationship with moms or dads or uncles or aunties. I'm talking about everything. Relationship with Mother Earth, relationship with your spirituality, relationship with your physical self. And I found myself, doing just enough to keep a buffer, a boundary, a comfort level of safety, so that disappointment maybe, so something there doesn't drastically affect me, because inside I didn't feel like I had when I was younger, I didn't feel like I had the necessary tools to deal with something that would affect me that much, and I didn't. Nor did I have anybody really teaching me or giving me the vital tools and resources at a young age to help me cope and get through the things that I needed to get through, whether it be death from a grandpa, or sexual touching from someone else, or from abandonment issues, or from fear, and all those kind of just stuffed inside me, just stuffed it in me, just and living a lot of my life, just like, hey, I'm cool, I'm good, and being Mr. Funny Guy, and being athletic guy, and just kind of like masking it to hiding behind my blinds, where I felt my world was fine. And it wasn't until something dramatic happened, like the earthquake or a storm came and blew down the blinds, where I was forced to look at self inwardly and figure out what can I do to heal. What can I do more to heal, fully heal, not just partially. Even that relationship with healing as well was always kind of like, just that's good enough. Never really was I investing to fully heal to the point of being truly happy and enjoying life and feeling not burdened, or not feeling free, feeling at ease, relaxed, all these positive things. And when I look at the blinds and seeing all these traumas and seeing all these things, this chaos going on in my life, I can sometimes see why I would hide behind the blinds. I can see sometimes why I would hide from addressing a lot of these things, because when I started addressing them, holy man, it's hard. You know this. I know a lot of you people know exactly what I'm talking about. When we start that journey of healing, recognizing what we need to heal and the steps that we need to take or want to take to start healing, it's a lot of process. It's a lot of energy to put into it. But like I said, there is no definitive way and timeline that you're supposed to heal. You're gonna take healing in your own way. You're gonna take healing in your own pace, what you can handle. But the important thing is that you look outside the blinds, you address those things, and you start making progress to being better than you were yesterday, incrementally, centimeter by centimeter, moment by moment. Don't rush it. Let it be. That was another thing I'll let you guys know about. When I looked past the blind, seen the trauma, addressed it, started, and usually I would avoid it. I would like, nope, I'm good. Or I would get mad, or I'd cry, or whatever it may be, and I'd deal with it, and then it's done. Okay, I'm good. I cried over it. I got mad over it. I went and lifted weights over it. I went golfed. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Right? Some people will, excuse me. Some people will go drink or do drugs, or or do other unhealthy behaviors, maybe domestic violence, or rage out on their kids, or kick a dog, or whatever else it may be, and then it's over. It's done. But for me, it was more like, here's the emotion, here it comes, here's the guilt, here's the blame, here's the hurt, here's the pain. And then I would sit in it. I would just feel it. I would just feel the pain. I'd feel the hurt. I'd feel the blame. I'd feel the guilt. And just sitting in it, and just, you know, I wouldn't really say necessarily trying to understand it, but just hearing it, just listening to it. Like when someone talks to you and they're really hurt, and they don't necessarily want anybody to say anything. They just want to just express themselves, and they don't even necessarily want to be touched. They just want to, like, here it is, right? That's exactly what I mean by sitting in it and just feeling it, and just being there with that moment of hurt, pain, guilt, shame, and just, not trying to stuff it away, not trying to like say I'm okay, but just taking that moment and just sitting down and feeling truly what it feels like to lose somebody, the sadness, the hurt, the guilt, the words that you said that you wish you could take back, but you can never now, the things that happened to you. And some people might need that support system when they kind of start delving into those things. And that's why I think having a spiritual advisor, a counselor, friends, maybe support group, are vital in those circumstances, because at least you can just be there and just kind of know that you're okay, but not stuffing or pushing away any of the feelings, and just feeling it, just letting it be. Because then truly, I really feel like you can learn from it. You can understand. It's up to you to understand it, I guess. But for me, that's one way I could understand it, is by just sitting in it and just like, yeah, just there it is, there it is. Taking that moment of silence, meditation, there it is. Breathing. There's so many different breathing techniques can release energy, certain energy build up in your body, fire breath, earth breath, water breath, whatever other breath there is, smoke breath, haze. Okay? But those are the kind of things that when I say look out the blinds, see past the blinds, that it intrigues your nosy part of the self. But I also want to I want to ask you the question of what motivates you, or what stimulates you to change, or to get the help that certain trauma needs. because we all recognize it. We all see it to a point when we allow ourselves to see it. That's talking about see past the blinds, looking past the blinds. That's there it is. What are you going to do about it? Um, are you going to wait for the catastrophic event to come and happen to you? Or are you going to build up that confidence and know-how through all of these? I mean, Native Wellness Institute, we're here to talk. We're here to help you out. We're here to facilitate. We're here to train you to get you those tools and resources um, and networking to help you and assure that hopefully confidently that you can get through those and don't be afraid of healing. Um, healed, healed, healing people, heal people. Okay. Um, I wish when I was a kid and I looked outside the blinds and seen my traumas happening, I wish I had enough know-how, courage to ask for help when I was a kid. But I was so influenced by my mom that she was a strong, independent woman, didn't have a dad around. It was just me and her a lot of the time. And I was learning from her and seeing her deal with her emotions. I kind of adopted those and learned from it to not really, I didn't see her ask for help that I know of. And I didn't even ask my mom a lot for help because maybe I learned, okay, I don't see her talking much about her feelings. So I'm going to take on this persona or this alter ego of I'm fine. I'm good. I don't need to talk about this. Stuff it in, okay? Uh, that was another blind I had to look at. And when I started looking at these blinds, it started connecting a lot of things in my life of why I treated certain people the way I did, why I treated myself the way I did, why I didn't have a certain behavior, even though I wanted to, but why I didn't do the things I wanted to essentially in life earlier on. Okay. But it wasn't until I started looking past the blinds and seeing self and seeing what that little Kasey needed help with or that traumatized thing that needed to be resolved. Wasn't until I started feeling a little bit of weight off of me and then I could start kind of moving and realizing this is what I need to do. I need to go out there and help that res mutt, which was me, that just got hit by a car, which was me, and I cannot just not stay behind the blinds while that poor dog Resmud is crying its face off and can't get back up to walk. And there's a busy street and it's probably going to get hit again and again and again and again. And that Resmud is going to keep crying and crying and crying and get debilitated. And eventually it's never going to be able to get off the street. And it's just going to allow itself to get re-traumatized over and over unless it had help. Unless it was me behind the blinds. I looked at it. I'm like, gosh, that dog needs help. Oh my God, that res dog needs help. Oh man, it's crying. I see. Now I just need to go. I need to get out there. I need to go out there. And eventually, hopefully, you get out there and you take care of yourself. You're the res mutt and you're crying for help and you keep getting traumatized. You keep getting hit. But yourself, your true self inside doesn't want to go out, your ego's like, I'm good, but your really gentle self is saying, come on, man, go take care of yourself, go help yourself, and yeah, so I just want to see what you guys are writing because I do want you guys to 5G working good, yay, all right. Jenna, thanks for being here. Rebecca, sorry, read all that. I'm sorry. Come on. Here on my phone. Yes, see, past the blinds. Native wellness is Raven. I call it concern. Yes. I am so Native American. Cool. Wild turkeys. That's what you look outside to see the blinds is wild turkeys? I don't know. When our home burned down, the neighbors came to see if we were out of the home and see if we were okay. Yes, that's awesome. I'm glad you are okay, and I'm sorry to hear about that. I wish I were more curious and paid more attention. I am now. Felicia Lopez said that. I wish I was more curious. I wish I were more curious. And now you are. Good. To pull the blinds back, I like to journal, talk with elders, ask peers to interrupt my unhealthy for other community behaviors that I may be participating in unaware. And yeah, hold you accountable. Thanks, AC. That's pretty cool. I love that. Journaling, that's another thing I do to open up my blinds as well. Fernando says, my trauma is deep. I like the saying, treat yourself to heal too. Yes. Totally treat yourself to heal. Our brains are wired for connection. Yep, I just repeated that. Rejection, I should say. Oh, I lost you. Uh, yeah, volume is good now. Okay, good. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I should say fear of rejection is what Nico said. Um, yes. So that's and thank you for everybody for your providing your insight and all the things that you do in terms of that. How and I think AC touched on it and he shared how he opens up his blinds or looks past his blinds, and he says he's journaling. I would like to propose a question to you guys on what you guys do to help or have helped or what you're afraid of to look past the blinds. Or were there certain things in your life that shook your world where it almost forced you to um, see past your blinds? Uh, what kind of things did you do? What kind of things did it interact with you to actually make you start becoming more aware of the help that you personally needed to help yourself? So if you want to feedback in that in the chat thing, let me know. What are some things that you do to help yourself when you're looking past the blinds to help yourself? Or what are some things that happened to you that forced you to look past the blinds? Okay. A lot of it for me was death, losing something, uh, being fearful to get too close to somebody to lose them. And I don't think back then I had enough the know-how to really connect with somebody because I cared about them so much, or I felt like I was going to care about them so much that if I lost them, my world would just crumble. And I realized my world won't crumble. My world will actually be so much more stronger with them in my life. So rewiring the brain, flipping the script, seeing how changing the way the perspective of how you see things, seeing past the blinds. It can mean so many different things in life, and what I guess more or less before I go further into the next topic, or not next topic, but next portion of the talk, just share with me what are some things that kind of like shook your world, that kind of helped you see past the blinds. Um, Relationship issues. Rebecca said. Ambercita said it's a process. Hannah says, "Thank you, my bestest friend ever." Thank you, Hannah. I'm glad you're paying. I think you're paying attention. I thank you for being here. I don't know if you're paying attention, but thank you for being here. Pray and look within. Focus on my relationship with God. Leslie said, "This will help to people that don't see the picture." I hope so. That's part of looking past the blinds, right? It really, really is. In order to see the picture, you have to look past the blinds. And that's so, so true. And I hope people do that. I hope people take the effort to do those things. All these Native Wellness Institute power hours, these presentations, these trainings that a lot of us do, it does take some attention. It does take some effort to go to these things, but the work is never going to stop being done. Um, because there's so many, I feel, people out there that maybe necessarily don't want to look at the picture or get the picture because sometimes it is too hard. Sometimes there is too much greed or so much too jealousy or too much trauma within our own people, that blind us, to what we truly can be. And I'm over here asking and shaking my head or shaking my hands. Why? Why and what is stopping our people or yourself to truly become the happiest you can be? That's a question. That's a question that you need to pose to yourself. What is stopping me from being the happiest that I can be. You have to see the past the blinds. You have to take that chance and look outside, and you have to look at. I mean, in terms of looking outside, but looking within self. Remember, I told you to flip it inside out. Looking within side to address what is really bothering you. And sometimes right away, it doesn't really come to the picture. It doesn't really come. The picture doesn't make sense until you keep working at it. Oh, okay. There's this analogy that a lot of us will use too, the color by number thing. Okay, it doesn't look like anything. I mean, you can kind of see the shape of it, but it's not when you start coloring in all the numbers that it starts taking shape and form. But you can't just color it all one thing, because then you lose it or you don't really get the whole picture. You have to take your time methodically and color in the numbers, color by number, I guess. And then truly it starts manifesting or starts creating a picture of self, or wellness or healing for self. And then you get it. Then you get the picture. A lot of people just don't want to pick up the paintbrush. A lot of people don't even want to try to color. Um, but those people that are trying to color, kudos to you. Kudos to each and every one of you, um, because you're putting effort into yourself. And when you put effort into yourself, I think you're more able to put effort into your people or your family, your community, your neighborhood, your children, the schools, sports, whatever else it may be. It flows over into the other aspects of your life. But it really, really seriously just takes you to open the blinds, to see past the blinds, to see past what you're afraid of looking at. Don't be afraid of addressing those issues or those certain things in your life that trouble you, or that catch your attention. Um, it's there for a reason, and it's telling you, just look outside, see past the blinds. You're not okay, or you're not as healthy as you can be, or you're not as happy as you can be. Do something about it. And that's kind of more the seeing past the blinds. Just have that courage, open the blinds up, see what you can do to be possibly better than you were yesterday. um, Ambersita says, being able to help someone else who is in a similar situation and seeing it from a different perspective, and to help someone each other with strength. Um, Childhood trauma, get mental help. Okay, okay. I have to be careful about boundaries, who I allow in my life. Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. Rebecca said, I was forced to look past the blinds when I opened my home to someone in need after not seeing them for a while, and did not know the level of turmoil they brought. Okay, okay. Um, that's so important, right? You don't know until you know. It's really, really not that simple, but it is that simple. And hindsight is 2020, I guess you'd say. Yeah, I mean, honestly. Oh, Nico said, to get past the blinds sometimes takes applying pressure so we can figure out how to move away from pressure. It's a technique we use when working with horses. Approach and retreat to the fear. Beautiful, Nico. I love that. I don't know nothing about working with horses, even though I'm a stud myself. That was a dumb joke. Anyways, stupid. Um, but no, I don't know anything about working with horses. That was a dumb joke. I'm so sorry. I had to look inside when. Oh, Kanita said I had to look inside when I found my birth family. Reconnecting to them, I had to get past my insecurities. I talked with others, journal, and sit with my thoughts. Yes. Meditation is so beautiful. When I say sit with my thoughts, I just think automatically uh, meditating. And how many of you guys, when I say see past the blinds, or when I say it takes something for you to look within self, and sometimes you think your life is okay, and something spiritually or physically happens to you to make you realize you really need to see past the blinds to help self. Um, Mine a long time ago was anxiety attacks, panic attacks, thinking everything was okay, but the body said, "Hey, no, you're not," and that was a good wake up call as well for myself. And even at times today, um, I'm really trying to get in tune with the body and the mind, and realizing even when I talk about trauma stuff, there's this kind of like anxiety or even a thing within self that kind of gets triggered that I still need to understand and look within self. You know what I mean? And not to ignore what the body, the spirit is trying to tell you. And even then, um, you need to, I don't know, like Kanita said, uh, talk with others, journal, and sit with it. The meditation, praying is so vital, and I don't think a lot of us do that enough. Our minds are always going. Our life is always going. We always feel like we're on like fight, flight, or freeze. Like the cortisol levels in our bodies are heightened, and we just don't sometimes take time to shut off the TV, sit in our back porch, or go for a drive and sit in the woods or in a prairie or wherever you may be, ocean, water, lakes, rivers, streams, whatever it may be, and just sit there and just not think. And that could be part of seeing past the blinds as well. Um, Allowing yourself to just sit there and relax. That's part of seeing past the blinds, because sometimes you need to get out of your house, get out of your safe zone, and explore what the world has to offer, what Mother Nature has to offer, what the spirituality in life has to offer. um, what your physical has to offer. Um, I know there's a lot of things in our lives that we're not happy with, that we feel like we can improve, whether it be relationships with others or relationship with self. And like I posed the question before, how willing are you to work on those certain aspects in your life that you are not happy with? And again, it would have to be seeing past the blinds. It would have to take that courage, that effort, that energy to really look past the blinds, to really acknowledge what you can truly work on to make yourself as happy and accepting of self as you can be. I know there's a lot of people out there that beat themselves up, that wish they could have done better, that wish they didn't ever say things, wish they never did this, A, B, C, or D. And then they sometimes hold on to the past so much, and when we say looking past the blinds, when they look at the past the blinds, that's all they see. They see faults, they see hurt, they see all these things that maybe they don't wish to see, and that is why maybe sometimes they don't have, or maybe that's why they don't get the picture. And I just want to encourage you guys to sometimes just take your time, sit back with it, and it doesn't mean when you look at the blinds and you see something that you need to address, doesn't mean you have to go and do it right away. See it, and like Kanita said, sit back with it, talk with someone about it before you physically get out and go, address it. Journal about it, see how it really feels and sits with you. Like I said earlier, sitting in that emotion and just sitting there and just breathing through it and releasing maybe some of the stuff that you had built up through all these years. There's anger, there's hurt, there's pain, whatever else it may be, what other traumatizing things. And inhaling all the healing, inhaling all the goodness, inhaling all the positivity back into your body, and releasing all the negativity. And then maybe then you'll have that energy to get up and address that. Like I said, the mutt that got hit by the car over and over. Then maybe you'll know what to do. Then maybe there's compassion and empathy for that mutt, that you can physically pick it up and say, it's okay, I'm right here. I'll get you back to being a healthy mutt. That mutt, like I said before, is you. Okay? And sometimes we're not ready to address ourselves, even though that we get hit over and over and over by our traumatic events. But it takes some time and effort and energy and understanding, compassion, empathy, love to build up within self to go out and help self. And I think that's a lot of us. We need to take those steps, take those steps to doing that, and taking our time and patience. One of the biggest things that I had, even during my spiritual stuff, and I still have spiritual stuff, but I mean, like in my beginning stages of my spirituality, in terms of like my sun dancing or my fasting or my sweats and all that stuff, I there's just a little story about how the spider in Alani way, White Clay way, Grovemont way, our spider is like a big symbol for a lot of us, and it really teaches, it has this virtue of patience. And every time I see a spider walk in front of me, whether I'm just walking or running or I see it in a house, I acknowledge it and I reflect back on, am I going too fast in life? Am I rushing something? It allows me to reflect back and saying, okay, the spider's showing itself to me for a reason. And it showed it to me when I was on a fast, so I really take it in, a lot, and I think about it, and I'm like, okay, I really need to practice patience, seeing past the blinds, right? Like I don't got time to wait. Let me sit back in it and let me figure out. Let me reflect back on why am I seeing this right now, and okay, I need to slow down. It was one of the things that I had trouble with when I was younger in my days. Like I felt like I always had to go, 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 go. And guess why? I felt like I had to go, 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 go because as soon as I got some quiet time, as soon as I slowed down, those traumas or those traumas or those emotions I never dealt with or knew how to deal with would come in, and then I had to get up and I had to go keep myself busy. And it wasn't until later on in life where I started realizing I need to slow down. When that spider walks my path or shows itself to me, I need to slow down. Thank the spider for showing itself to me. Appreciate you. I need to slow down. And taking a deep breath, relaxing. Sometimes you have to just tell your kid, just give me 30 minutes. I need to just breathe. Sometimes it takes telling your husband or your significant others to like, I just need some time. Sometimes tells your boss, like, I just need some time right now. I need to slow down. Because if I slow down, I reflect, and I get back to where I need to be, I will be more productive in my life with the kids, companion, work, self, all these things. Slowing down. Seeing past the blinds to realize what you need to do for yourself to make yourself better than you were yesterday, even if it's incrementally progressive forward. Okay? Yes, nature heals for sure. Yes, Nico, great words. Sorry, it's surprising the same sort of behavioral work, only you have it with that 1,000-pound animal who is wired for fight or flight. Yes, the whole that horses. Those horses are powerful. They're just so powerful. Um, Lawana. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. My family and I had to cut ties because of all the poison they are to themselves and others. Okay, good for you on creating boundaries and separation from things that you feel like are toxic in your life. Hurt people, hurt people. Healing people, heal people. Help heal people. Blah blah blah. Yes, nature heals. Totally heals. That's one of the things we did in the pandemic is we would always go walking. We could totally stay safe. We could have stayed in our house, and shut the blinds and said we're safe, we're fine, we're okay. But it took a little bit of courage, took a lot of energy to go explore the wilderness, to explore all the hiking trails and the mountains and the water and the rivers. And when we got out, it was a little bit of time because we had to get the family together. The family, but the kiddos, and packed up and had to get snacks and all. And we had to drive 2-3 hours, and then 2-3 hours back. to the house. But when we were out there and we were hiking, it was really refreshing. It was really like, yes, so happy we did this. And when we go home, we're more refreshed. We're more happy. We're not so antsy or anxious. We're just like, yeah, man, that was beautiful. And yeah, like you said, Kim, nature heals, totally heals. Um, so I would really encourage more people to get outside, see past the blinds, and get outside. Okay. Any other things that are happening in life for you guys in terms of seeing past the blinds? I know a lot of us are still in the pandemic's mind frame. I know here in Washington, they're going to start lifting the mask mandates. If you guys don't know, I live in Washington now. I used to live in Montana. Now I live in Washington. Um, sorry, just look at my notes here really quick. And I think the last thing I'm going to leave you off with, if there's no feedback, okay, there isn't, is probably like really the freedom of expression. Okay, sometimes, like I said before, is sometimes a lot of us don't feel like we can express ourselves to a certain point where we can talk or journal or whatever might may be. But it's I think it's part of who we are, um, and I think it's really beneficial to help seeing ourselves past the blinds. And what I automatically think of when I think about some of this stuff is Jolene or Shailene or Thosh or countless other people who are very artistic. And the way they see past the blinds is through art or expression of some sort. Back in the days, we would always express ourselves through some way, war crying, leeling, um, singing, dancing, mm, a lot of those things we would always do. And I don't think a lot of us do that enough, especially with the whole pandemic and wanting to see past the blinds, our own traumas, and seeing past the blinds. We don't really have that freedom of expression that I feel like we really truly need to help ourselves see past the blinds. And when we do see past the blinds, really knowing and expressing that certain hurt some way, somehow. And some people are not verbal. Some people are not verbal and they can't really express themselves through words. But sometimes some people are really great artists. Some people are really great writers, comedians, actors, uh, green thumbers, people who like plants. Um, some people are really athletic, and that's their way of expressing and seeing past the blinds and coping with certain things in life is through the form of art or whatever it may be. And when I say art, have you seen certain people um, run, play basketball, lift weights, sing, uh, talk even? There's an art form to it, and we all have it within ourselves. And I think tapping into that freedom of expression some way somehow allows us to release once we see the passive blinds and what needs to be dealt with. That freedom of expression really allows us to release some things that might be stored inside us. And there's that connection, like I said before, we're made for connection. Okay. And when we're traumatized, we're really putting the walls up and trying to protect ourselves. Okay. But when we have that freedom of expression, there's this sense of connection. We're not really protecting ourselves, we're just expressing, here it is, right? But when you get past that trauma of protection, you can really start connecting with people. And some people still live in that traumatized world, but when they start singing, when they start working out, when they start working with horses or riding horses or doing something that they really truly enjoy and love, there's that connection with land or connection with the animal or connection with people or connection with the music that allows them to get that that trauma or that something out. Once they see that, hey, holy cow, but I don't know how to express it, I don't know how to say it, and maybe it's through words, maybe through a spoken word, who knows? Um, but that's just something that we need to really encourage each other with, is that freedom of expression, I think. And some kids, like I was saying, I'm trying to wrap it up, I'm all the way back to the beginning of my talk when I said when I was a kid, I didn't know how to express what I was feeling or how to express or ask for help. And my expression back then was anger, and I didn't really know how to put it into words, but through anger. And I wish I knew differently. I wish I knew something different. I wish someone taught me differently to deal with a lot of those things. But now I get to teach my kids that, which is the beautiful cycle of life, and passing on that ability to see past the blinds and work on things together to not only allow yourself to go out there and help that mutt that's been getting hit more than often. It's been getting hit often. Um, Knowing that sometimes you don't need to do it by yourself. You can ask others around you that hear that cry for help to say, "Can you please come help me help this person, this thing, this mutt?" um, because that in itself, I think, is really powerful when you start asking other people for help through a lot of maybe your traumas that they can relate to possibly or they've been through. And I think that's a really powerful thing, is when you get to that point in life where you can start asking for help or understanding and receiving the help to help that mutt is going to recover so much more. I wouldn't say better, but just so much more with love and understanding and compassion and empathy. And it's going to be tended to more and feel the radiant energy of what it feels like to be healthy and happy, you know. I think I'll leave you off with a little flute song, talking about freedom of expression. And I hope some of you guys out there really try your best to see past the blinds. And when you do, gain that effort and that energy to go to help yourself, to be with yourself, to sit with yourself, and don't be afraid to hopefully one day just rip down the blinds and heal. Okay, here's a little tune I wrote for myself. One for the money, two for the show. I'm just joking. Okay, I'll play a little song and I'll let you guys go. All right. Nibi thought then. Who? Oh, all right. You guys have a beautiful day. Hope to see you guys around, and take care of yourselves. Be good one another, love one another, help one another. And I am out. Thank you guys for attending and being here with me. And yes, see past the blinds. See ya. Peace.